His name is Yuma Tanaka, a 25-year-old sales rep at a mid-sized company in Tokyo. He had a decent time during his student days, but ever since he started working, his life has revolved around his job, leaving no room for romance. Lately, he has become interested in his manager, Mitsuki Aoi. She is 27, very capable, and trusted by coworkers and subordinates alike. As his direct boss, she is always calm and dependable. Yet sometimes he notices a fleeting look on her face, something lonely or weary. Perhaps that's why his heart can't help but flutter when he's around her. One day while he was working late overtime, he happened to look up and realize that Manager Mitsuki was still at her desk. She usually has a composed aura, but that night she seemed slightly tired.
Manager, you're still working?
Oh, Tanaka, I'm just having trouble organizing these materials.
Her voice sounded different, lacking its usual confidence.
Manager, it's already late. Want to grab a drink after this?
A drink? That's sudden.
Yeah, I'm a bit burned out from sorting through all these files, so I thought it'd be nice to unwind.
She looked surprised for a moment, then gave a small smile.
It's kind of refreshing to be invited by a younger coworker. All right, I'll join you for a bit.
They headed to a nearby izakaya and toasted with beer. At first, they talked about work, but soon the conversation turned more personal.
You know, Tanaka, you seem like you'd hold your liquor pretty well.
Really? People say that, but I'm not actually that strong.
Oh, really? Want to see who gets tipsy first?
She laughed and lightly tapped his shoulder. The casual gesture made his heart skip a beat for a moment.
Come on, keep drinking. I can't lose to my junior.
She leaned in to peer into his glass, their shoulders almost touching. When their eyes met, his heart pounded.
You're pretty confident, Manager.
I can't let my junior think I'm a pushover, right?
She stuck her tongue out playfully, so different from her usual cool demeanor, and he was surprised by how cute she looked. As the conversation continued, she grew even more relaxed.
Hey, Tanaka, do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't.
Really? That's a shame. You're so nice.
She said that while lightly tapping his hand. Perhaps because of the alcohol, she seemed to scoot closer to him.
But you know, Tanaka, you're actually pretty cute sometimes.
Huh? Cute?
Yeah, you look all serious, but there's this slightly clueless side to you. I kind of like that.
Her words made his chest feel warm. She kept teasing him in a friendly way, clearly becoming more comfortable.
Look, your glass is empty. What do you want next?
I'll have the same.
Seriously? That's kind of a boring choice. Live a little.
She laughed and lightly grabbed his arm, and his heart leapt in that instant.
But you know, you're not just nice, Tanaka. You're also really considerate. I like that.
Oh, I'm not that great.
Is that so? Then let me vouch for you.
She said that and playfully rested her head on his shoulder. Even if she was joking, he couldn't keep his heart from racing. The next morning at work, Manager Mitsuki was back to her usual self. But his perception of her had changed a little. He couldn't get her playful smile, or the small ways she let her guard down out of his mind. He was beginning to see her not just as a manager, but as a woman. Meanwhile, he overheard coworkers talking casually about her. The rumor was that Manager Mitsuki went out drinking with many different men. His heart tightened. It bothered him more than usual, probably because of how fun their night had been. He wondered if her kindness and playful side were something she showed everyone. A few days later, he asked her out for drinks again after work.
Manager, how about grabbing a drink tonight?
Oh, you're inviting me again? I'm happy to, but are you sure you don't have something you want to talk about?
She looked at him keenly, smiling teasingly. Though he felt a bit nervous, he nodded. They went to a quieter bar this time. Under the soft lighting, she sipped a cocktail slowly.
So, Tanaka, there's something on your mind, right? Why not tell me?
His heart thumped at her words. He did have a reason for inviting her out tonight.
Well, I'm not sure I'd call it a problem.
So it's just something that's bugging you a bit, then?
Her gentle smile strangely reassured him, but he also felt he had to steel himself.
Manager, do you usually go out drinking with a lot of people?
Why do you ask?
I heard some talk from coworkers about you going out with various people.
He knew it was a roundabout way of asking, but it was the best he could do.
Aha, so you do get curious about things, Tanaka.
I'm not trying to pry, it's just I realized I want to know more about you.
She set her glass down, paused for a moment, then smiled.
I guess I do go out with a bunch of different people, but is that really so odd?
No, not at all. It's just I'd like to understand you better.
She narrowed her eyes and gazed at him intently.
You're so earnest, Tanaka. But look, no matter who I drink with, it doesn't change the time I spend with you, does it?
Her words carried both warmth and a hint of distance. She swirled her glass slowly, her gaze drifting somewhere far away.
You know, I like being around people. When I'm alone, I start overthinking everything.
Overthinking?
Yeah, when I'm by myself, I wonder if anyone really needs me.
His chest tightened at the vulnerable side of her, so different from the usual strong, composed manager.
Manager, I'm sure a lot of people need you. Everyone at work relies on you.
That's just for work. In my personal life, I don't feel like anyone genuinely needs me.
He couldn't bear the sadness in her expression and wanted to comfort her.
I really enjoy being around you. If you need someone, I'll always be here.
He was surprised at how boldly he had spoken. Afraid of her reaction, he glanced away.
You're so serious, Tanaka, but thank you. That actually helps.
Later that night, as they were leaving, she lightly tapped his arm and laughed.
Hey, Tanaka. Invite me out again sometime, okay? I feel more at ease when I'm talking to you.
Her words lingered in his heart. He had a feeling she wasn't just joking. After that, they went out for drinks several more times. At work, they kept a professional distance, but outside the office, they grew steadily closer. One day, he spotted a message pop up on her phone. The text sounded like something from a significant other, sending a chill of anxiety through him.
Oh, did you see that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Don't worry. He's just a work buddy.
She smiled casually, as if it was no big deal. He wanted to believe her. Still, a small thorn of doubt remained in his heart. But he knew what he had to do. He decided to wait patiently until she was ready to open up fully. Then, not long after, manager Mitsuki approached him.
Tanaka, are you free this Friday?
Friday? Yeah, I don't have any plans.
Great! A new restaurant opened up and I've been wanting to try it. Would you like to come with me?
Surprised by her sudden invitation, he quickly agreed.
Of course. It's an honor to be invited by you, manager.
Don't make a big deal out of it. Let's just go and have fun.
Her smile made his heart flutter. He couldn't wait for Friday. When he arrived at the meeting spot, she was wearing a simple dress instead of her usual suit. She looked so different that he was at a loss for words.
What's wrong? You're staring. It's embarrassing.
Oh, sorry, you just look amazing.
I didn't know you could be so smooth.
She seemed slightly bashful despite her words, and it was so endearing that he couldn't help but smile. They went to a cozy Italian restaurant. Freed from the usual pressures of work, she seemed genuinely excited.
It's been a while since I've gone to a place like this. It's really fun.
Yeah, manager. We need a break every now and then.
Right? It's strange, but I feel totally relaxed around you.
His heart warmed at her words. Knowing that someone so strict at work was letting her guard down with him felt incredible. After dinner, they stepped outside into the cool night air. She suddenly stopped walking.
Tanaka,
Yes?
I really appreciate everything you've done, not just with work, but for listening to me like this. Thank you.
Her gratitude struck him deeply.
I'm the one who should be grateful. You've always supported me, manager. Thank you.
Haha, we sure are thanking each other a lot tonight, but it doesn't feel bad.
Her smile made him want to support her all the more, and he felt their bond strengthening. With each step closer they took, he found himself hoping their relationship would eventually become something deeper. That moment came sooner than expected. One night, after working overtime again, they naturally gravitated to a nearby bar. In the quiet atmosphere, she sipped her drink and spoke in a hushed tone.
You know, Tanaka, I've always felt like I had to handle everything on my own.
What do you mean?
Every time people call me dependable or cool, I feel like I can't break that image. So I've never let myself rely on anyone. But with you, it's different.
Her eyes, usually calm and steady, now shone with a mix of tenderness and vulnerability.
Manager? I mean Mitsuki?
The title slipped away as he spoke her first name, causing her eyes to widen slightly.
If it's all right with you, I'd like you to rely on me more. Leaning on someone doesn't mean you're weak. It just means there's someone you trust.
She looked surprised for a second, then smiled gently.
You're so straightforward, Tanaka. But thank you. That means a lot.
She set her glass down and shrugged a little before murmuring quietly.
So, is it okay if I lean on you?
Of course.
He responded without hesitation. On the way home, she suddenly placed her hand on his arm, and he gently took her hand in his. She didn't say anything, only smiled, but in that smile he saw everything he needed to know. He vowed that she would never have to face her burdens alone again. That's what she wanted, and he was determined to provide it.
Tanaka, let's keep doing fun stuff together, okay?
Sure, I'm looking forward to it.
The moon shone brightly in the night sky, illuminating the quiet streets as their footsteps echoed. He felt certain they would continue walking into whatever future awaited them, side by side.